Hello and welcome to Andertons TV. My name is Jack Duxbury and he's the Maltese Falcon. And this is my very good friend,
Andy from Roland. Hello.
Brother, thanks so much for coming down.
That's all right.
Keep your eye out for some videos that we're doing. We've got some things you're showing me, not necessarily brand spanking new, but definitely new to me, right?
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
And what is it we're looking at today?
So today we're looking at the German concert V-piano expansion for the RD-2000.
Let's fist pump and get into it.
So yeah, we're looking at the new V-piano expansion for the RD-2000. So a bit of a recap, because the RD-2000's been out for a few years now, this is our flagship stage piano. It's still one of the most popular products that we make. Brilliant for live performance, for studio use. There's a recap of kind of things that it does. So it has two kind of main piano engines. So it has this dedicated V-piano engine, which we'll talk about a bit more in there. And then it also has a supernatural piano engine, but as well as all of your classic key sounds. We've got a tone wheel organ with drawbar control on it. You can incorporate main stage or external equipment in it, layer up to 8 sounds.
We did a video on that, I think.
Yeah. Great master keyboard as well, if you want to use it. But yeah, what we're talking about today is we have a brand new V-piano expansion. So the V-piano...
The big one with the stand, and it was just game changing.
Yeah, it was the first truly modelled piano. So if people don't know what it is usually if you get like a piano sound, it's sampled. So they stick microphones in front of an acoustic piano, they'll play middle C really quietly, then a little bit louder still. Do this on all the different keys and build up a piano sound from that, which is great, but really the drawback of sampling is it doesn't capture a lot of, or it can't capture a lot of the nuance, because in reality when you're playing an acoustic piano it's not just 4 or 5 velocity layers, it's infinite. If you play a particular note and then you play other notes at the same time, the way that those harmonics interact and the phase interaction and stuff, you can't really recreate that with samples. So the V-piano was really revolutionary because of that. And then when the RD-2000 came out, they had a new V-piano engine there where they'd sort of further developed the technology and improved it upon there. This new one, the German concert V-piano expansion, it's almost like a version 3 of the V-piano software. So there's been so much R&D that's gone into the development of this, and they've completely remodeled everything from scratch for a new German concert grand piano. And because of the V-piano technology, we'll get into in a minute, where we can adjust so many different parameters. Really, it's almost as if you've got like a whole new instrument, and then you have the control over adjusting all the different parameters. And because it's modeled, it really feels like sort of like a living, breathing instrument in itself. It's really, really great.
This is good. A lot of people in the comments whenever I do something mention a thing called piano tech that I'm not familiar with, and this seems like a dream for you guys. So all these guys, let us know in the comments if you're one of those piano tech guys, because this seems like the physical manifestation, but also you're the originators of this technology with the V-piano.
Yeah, absolutely.
I always thought was fascinating when the V-piano and this technology is that idea of designing your piano. Like Roland always so good with the piano designer. Let's have a look.
Yeah, absolutely. So this is the first preset of the new expansion. So although everything is customizable, it comes with a good selection of presets, which is just the German concert grand. But if we wanted to edit anything about it, if we press the tone designer function on here, and with the V-piano we've got complete control over individual voicing. So within the piano sound, I can adjust the tuning of every single individual key.
What on earth?
So on this particular preset, you can see that as we go up to the top end, they've stretched out some of the harmonics. So actually, if we turn off the tuning, so if you just do something up at the top range.
Yeah, you could hear that.
Yeah.
And again, it's magic under the fingers as well. Yeah. I do sense it. I mean, it's not night and day under the fingers, but I can see there's a real tribe of people out there who believe in modelling.
Yeah, totally, yeah. If you've got an acoustic grand piano and you've got a piano tuner around, I think this is another thing is your piano tuners, they'll stretch out the fifths, they'll stretch out different notes, which is things to sort of, to try and get what they consider to be the best out of the instrument, and it feels a little bit more rich. If you've ever played around with, some digital piano, you can mess around with temperaments. I don't know if you've done that, where it sounds, when you play in the correct temperament, it'll almost sound more in tune than it does do normally, and then if you play in the wrong key, it's out of tune. But people don't understand it's to do with the tuning of the strings. And this is completely great. You can pick, say, middle C, and you can just go across to the tuning, and if you can completely
Yeah.
Sharpen it.
Yeah.
If you really, really wanted to.
A lot of the people who watch as well play guitar, and if you've ever used a strobe tuner, I do it a lot. The idea of sweetened tunings.
Yeah.
For different keys you're in. We're alluding to the fact if you've got a style, like I've got a style, you all know it, most of you probably don't like it, but I love like open fifths and all that stuff. I could really tailor it for me, and if you're a boogie woogie guy, maybe you can have a little fiddle with that as well.
Yeah, completely. As well as that, you can change the level of individual notes. This can be really handy actually if you're in like a live performance situation. Sometimes you might hit a note and it's just because of the shape of the room triggers like a harmonic sometimes. You can just adjust the level of individual notes. Yeah.
That's such a futuristic way to deal with it.
And the other thing is you can change the character of each individual note as well. So when we say changing the character, we're adjusting things like the material that the string is made from like copper wound to silver wound at different degrees, and also the material that the hammer is being used with one control. So this again is using sort of a middle position, but we can...
You're changing the material per note.
Yeah, so for instance, say if we just do a middle C there, if I just change this one note and you play octaves with this one, and if I change it back, even though you've only changed the character of one note, but within the context of your performance, that has kind of a different effect really. So on this one, I've gone for the character. This is a different preset, but you can see everything is taken down sort of -1, but they've also sort of cherry-picked a couple of notes in the bass where they've kept them at a different character.
Am I down there? Oh yeah, I'm down there.
And this has got a slightly different tuning curve as well. But all of these different things, it means that we can have, you know, quite different sounding presets from the same instrument, really.
Yeah.
So this one's Studio Pop. This is a lot, you know, brighter and sort of focused. And the rock is going to be very bright. And if we go for our ballad warm.
This is a killer act. What action's on this one?
So this is the PHA 50. So this is a real sort of wooden key action, but it's constructed in a way with solid core, so it's not going to, if you're taking it in and out of a cold venue, it's not going to warp or anything like that. But synthetic ivory feel. The length of the keys is quite long, so if you're playing at the top of the keys, the sort of pivot point feels really natural.
Yeah, like, often like in keys like F sharp, I really feel the difference. You can't play that chord and not get up on the keys.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
that's, if you're a guy that does a lot of Michael McDonald, it might be for you.
And it has escapement as well. So if you push down carefully, there feels like the sort of like a little shelf that you've kind of got to click through, which just means that you can re-trigger the notes.
And then with the modeling as well, you're getting 127 different sounds, right? Instead of like on a sampled sound.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's the thing, is it's not sample based. So everything is sort of like calculated by
it all goes together.
Physics.
Yeah.
You know, so a really good way is if you play some sort of complex chords with the damper pedal and let them ring out, you can hear the harmonics washing in with each other.
Yeah, and often they fake it in the sample stuff with, not fake it, well, they're doing their best with the sympathetic key resonance.
Yeah.
With the modelling, it's so much more nuanced.
Yeah, and that's the thing, is that when you play those chords, you can almost hear the phase interaction of the strings sort of washing in with each other, and it's just, it makes it, as I say, feel more alive, like an acoustic.
Now, is this update just for the RD-2000?
Yes, exclusive to this.
Cool.
So I should say as well, with the piano designer, we can go in and fully customize the sound even further. You can change things like the height of the lid.
Love
the piano
that.
going, so you can have it. And as I close it down. Crank up the string resonance.
I love that, especially doing ballads. Oof.
Even things like the hammer noise, so like if I turn this off, you notice it really in the top, and then you put it up, it's... noise out of there. But we can change everything from the duplex scaling, the key off resonance, cabinet resonance, the amount of damper noise, the key off noise. You can fully customize the piano sound to be whatever you want, really.
And that pedigree you've got, like, because this reminds me of that, the magic. People used to drive, I can remember, all the way down from the north to Guildford to try the V piano, because this was such a trip back when I was working this, and it's still, you guys were the first to put it into the technology. Why is it called the German Grand? Is it like...
it's based on a sort of famous brand of piano that's from Germany.
But so it's a new model that's really going after that.
Yeah, it's going after that tone, and it's really great for, it's great for sort of if you're playing classical piano stuff, but at the same time if you're playing in a band and you want something that cuts through a little bit and things like that, super for that as well. But a good way to check it, I mean, like, again, if you've got an RD-2000 already, if we do an example of flipping between the V piano sound that comes with it to begin with, and then moving over to the expansion just to show the difference.
Let's do it.
So this is the V piano that comes as standard. There's a different character to the sound.
Most
deaf.
Like, it's such a hard thing to communicate. I feel like when I do speaker demos or audio interface demos, I can't, but you can feel it. So I implore you to go somewhere and try it.
Yeah, check it out in Andertons.
Andertons or any other of the Roland homies. Should we just hear more of it?
Yeah, absolutely. So it comes with, as I say, you can customize it to your heart's desire, but it does come with 17 different presets. So I don't know if you just want to play a few.
I'll play like a repeating thing, and we can see if you have a flick for me. Is that right?
Yeah, of course.
Well good, this piano. Jeez Louise. Is this the top whack action?
Yeah. So like this is the flagship action for all of our stage pianos. So you get this in the Phantom 8 as well, the flagship.
Because I've been doing some videos on the entry level stuff, which is great, but I'm like, this is a step up.
Yeah, it is nice.
Yeah.
It's really
I was like, oh, well, I can remember I can play the piano. Like when I'm doing stuff like that, the escapement, that's where I can feel it on little quick. I can really shred on it.
Yeah. And like I say, if you're a player that plays like classical music and things, even if you're not thinking of using the layering options or any of those kind of stuff, it's still an amazing action, and it's such a responsive piano sound. Nice.
Getting there. I'm trying. Hey, if anyone out there knows a dope classical piano player in Guildford that could cope with me, email in. We're trying to find someone. Just can't find it. I get it. I've sent a few videos. Believe it or not, they didn't want to come in when they still did. Shocking.
Yeah.
But this is great. And where do they get this from?
So you can buy this expansion from Andertons.
Yarp.
Yeah. So just click the link.
Digital downloads, baby. And we sell clothes as well. And we're giving stuff away when we get to 100,000 subscribers.
Oh, that's great. Subscribe.
Yeah, let's see if we get there.
One thing I forgot to mention as well is it has unlimited polyphony as well when you're using the V piano sound.
Come on.
So polyphony, if you're not sure, means like how many notes the processor can cope with.
Yeah.
And like a lot of pianos will have either 128 or maybe 256. This is completely unlimited polyphony. So if you keep holding the damper pedal down, you can play forever and it will never drop any notes.
Yeah.
Which is great.
I'm going to play you out with that.